Hi everyone, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to day 18 of Diabetes Awareness Month, November 18th, 2018. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving here in America, so any of you who celebrate or getting close to it, I hope your preparations are going smoothly. With that being said, let's jump into question 18. So question 18 is, does everyone follow the same dosing regimen or is it different for each individual? Now, for those of you who have diabetes, know the answer to this question is pretty darn obvious. Heck no. But for those of you, this is more for those of you who have a relative with diabetes or don't know a whole lot about diabetes. You might think that we all get the same dosing. We don't. Like I had mentioned in my insulin to carb ratio video, which I believe was on day 16, I had mentioned that it varies from person to person. Why? Why does it vary from person to person? I'll kind of explain briefly why that happens. We can make this video a little longer because obviously this isn't a yes or no question. So things that can make your ratios or your insulin dosing different. Number one, your insulin resistance or insulin sensitivity. The more sensitive you are, the less insulin you need. The more resistant you are, the more insulin you need. Pretty obvious. Number two is age. Depending on your age and at what point you are in your life, it can determine how much insulin you need. If you are growing, children who are prepubescent or going through puberty might need more or less insulin depending on what their bodies go through. For us ladies, if we are on our periods or menstruating, we can have a little more insulin resistance, so our insulin dosing might be a little higher during that time of the month or just before that time of the month, also known as premenstrual syndrome or PMS. Another thing that can make a difference is where you live. Sometimes the weather can play a role. How much exercise you're getting. It depends upon, it might depend on gender. I have no idea. I'm just taking a guess. There's all these different things that can determine how your insulin dosing is adjusted, and also depends on the food you eat. If you eat carbohydrates, things like peas do have carbohydrates, but they're probably not as big of a blood sugar spiker as, say, cake, which is just pure glucose. So it depends on what type of carbohydrates you are putting on your plate that will also determine what kind of amounts of insulin you should be taking. So that's basically the basic things I can think of off the top of my head that can make a determining factor as to why you might have lower or higher numbers depending on the person. Another thing is too, with the basal rate, it also covers, like I said in previous videos, it helps cover the glucose that is spilled from your liver. While some people might spill more glucose in the morning or something in their bloodstream, so they might need to take more insulin to combat the dawn phenomenon. If you'd like to see a video on the dawn phenomenon and what the heck the dawn phenomenon is, let me know. I'll make a video on that too. Hormones and stress, anxiety, that can all play a huge role. What kind of job you have. Again, there is a huge amount of things that can determine what amount of insulins you need, amount of environmental triggers. So I think with that being said, this about wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video, which is day 19 of Diabetes Awareness Month. Until then, take care, God bless, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I just wanted to pop on here and mention this too. For day number 24, we will be going over a whole list of environmental triggers. So I had briefly mentioned a few of them in this video, but more of these that I had mentioned have everything to do with your insulin amounts. The things that I'm going to discuss in day number 24 are going to be more about what causes variations in your blood sugar. Obviously, variations in your blood sugar can come from your insulin doses, and your insulin doses can kind of be determined by your environmental triggers, but your environmental triggers also have an impact on your blood sugar besides insulin. So I hope this makes sense, and stay tuned for video 24.